Across Australia, First Nations leaders are driving powerful change through culture, healing, and truth-telling. In the NT, Garmalang Festival marks 10 years with a special retrospective, headlined by Dan Sultan and the Darwin Symphony Orchestra, celebrating First Nations art and storytelling. In the Torres Strait, Shana Mosby leads Wakai Wayan's Healing 4 Anchor program, a community-led, culturally grounded mental health model, bringing care to remote islands. In WA, rapper Fluent empowers youth through hip-hop, especially in detention, blending culture and music to promote healing and self-expression. His Banksia Beats program and community studio support the next generation of Black voices. In Victoria, the First Peoples Assembly and state government progress treaty talks with Dja Dja Wurrung set to be the first group to negotiate a traditional owner treaty. A statewide treaty is now targeted for June 2025. More of that later. Hi, my name is Leanne Djilandi Dolby, and this is the National Indigenous Times Daily News Bulletin for the 18th of June 2025. Kerab Mara Gunjap Mara Man and Yurok Commissioner Travis Lovett completed a 500-kilometre walk for truth from Portland to the steps of Victoria's Parliament, marking the end of the Yurok Justice Commission, Australia's first formal truth-telling process. Over 25 days, thousands joined him to honour the stories and survival of First Peoples and confront the state's colonial past. Lovett's powerful address reflected on the brutal history of dispossession and exclusion, while also celebrating Indigenous resilience, law and culture. The 4-year Yurok inquiry, Victoria's longest royal commission, has gathered thousands of testimonies and is expected to make over 100 recommendations to address historic and ongoing justices against Aboriginal people. Lovett declared that the era of silence and denial must end, calling for lasting structural, legal and cultural change. In Torres Strait, Shana Mosby, a proud Masig woman and team leader at Wakai Wayan Healing, is leading a transformative, culturally grounded approach to mental health care through the 4 Anchor program. As the region's only 100% Torres Strait Islander owned and led mental health service, Wakai Wayan integrates cultural practices along with clinical knowledge to address rising psychological distress and suicide rates among Aboriginal youth. The 4 anchors, belonging, safety, purpose and empowerment, are matched with symbolic wins to guide healing and resilience. Founded by psychologist Ed Mosby and culturally guided by Auntie Ivy Trevelyan, the program is community-led, trauma-informed and rooted in local identity. With growing demand across the islands, Mosby calls for greater trust, funding and recognition to sustain and expand the unique model, declaring we are the lighthouse keepers of mental health in the Torres Strait. Proud Wongai man and rapper Joshua Eggington, known as Fluent, has nominated for the 7 News Indigenous Community Leadership Award for his powerful work using music to uplift and empower Indigenous youth. Based in Booloo, Perth, Fluent sees rap as a form of contemporary storytelling rooted in Aboriginal oral traditions. His Banksia Beats program supports young people in youth detention to express themselves and build resilience through music. Fluent's work blends culture, leadership and family legacy, a highlight being the debut of his son Inkaby and his brother JJ Vacant at his block party, and a standout performance on America's Got Talent. Through his Willagee studio, Fluent creates safe spaces for emerging artists and sees success as a cultural journey, platforming the next generation and decolonising through Black expression. His leadership continues to inspire change, humanise Indigenous youth experiences and challenge stigma through truth-telling and art. The First Peoples Assembly of Victoria and the Victorian Government have provided an update on the state's treaty negotiations, following recent talks held on Dja Dja Wurrung country in Bendigo, led by Premier Jacinta Allen and Assembly co-chairs Reuben Berg and Yara Murray. Discussions focused on the future role of the Assembly, including its involvement in truth-telling advocacy, leadership development and closing the gap efforts. The Yurok Justice Commission's final report will soon inform future truth-telling and education, while treaty forums have already engaged in over 700 community leaders statewide. The Dja Dja Wurrung Clans Aboriginal Corporation recently announced its intent to negotiate a traditional owner treaty, a first in the state. While progress has made, including 58 negotiation rounds in the last year and 45 more planned, concerns remain among some community members about policy disconnects that may undermine treaty goals. A statewide treaty is now tentatively scheduled for completion by June 2026, with the government reaffirming its commitment to community-led decision-making and practical change for Aboriginal Victorians. And that's today's Daily News Roundup from the National Indigenous Times. For more news, head to nit.com.au and sign up for our free newsletter.